Hi students and welcome to the class. You need to go to aplusstudents.com. You need to log into the website. Once you have logged in, you need to select math as your subject. This is a grade 5 lesson and the name of the topic is multiplication. Okay, I'll give you the chapter number and the lesson number. The chapter number is 11 and the lesson number is 14. Chapter 11 and lesson number 14. Okay, and the name of the lesson is multiply three or more numbers up to 2 digits each. Okay, so let's go to the topic. Okay, let's go to chapter grade 5 maths lesson chapter 11 lesson number 14. Okay, so the first question we have is, it says multiply, and the question states, I'll just copy the question for you. This is question number 1, and the question number 1 says multiply 2 multiplied by, this is our question number 1. Okay, so in multiplication what we need to remember is the order of multiplication does not matter, right? We can multiply any two terms first. So I'll just make a copy of this and we'll see it differently. Okay, we'll try to see would it make a difference or not. Okay, so if we say 2 multiplied by 8 is 16, and 16 multiplied by 2 would be 16 multiplied by 2 is, we can do the working over here, 16 multiplied by 2, 2 times 6 is 12, right? 12, and we carry a 1. Okay, that means 2 times 1, that is 32. So this should come out to be 32. But if we change the order of the numbers, if we say we swap the positions of 8 and 2, okay, if we swap the position of 8 and 2, would it have the same answer? It should, right? Because in multiplication, the order of multiplication does not matter. If we put down an 8 over here, that means what we can say is 8 multiplied by 4. Let's see, 8 multiplied by 4, that is 32. So in multiplication, the order. Hi Rebecca, hi Ken, everyone. What we are doing is we are looking at multiplication. We are trying to multiply 3 or more numbers, and they could be, hi Valerie, and they could be up to 2 digits each, right? So what I did was I tried to change the order. First I did 2 multiplied by 8, that came out to be 16. And after that, what I did was I multiplied 16 multiplied by 2. The answer still comes out to be 32. Similarly, what we did was we changed the arrangement. What we did was 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, and 4 multiplied by 8 is still 32. So in multiplication, even if we change the order, the answer would stay the same because we are still multiplying all the numbers together. Okay, let's have a look at the next question. The next question says multiply 12 times 12 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 8. Okay. For this question number 2, let's see what happens over here is this should come out to be okay. I'll simply write question number 2. Let's multiply them together. We can say 12 multiplied by 9. So we can do the working. 12 multiplied by 9 is 9 times 2 is 18. We carry a 1. 9 times 1 is 9 plus 1 is 10. That means this comes out to be 108 multiplied by 8, right? So let's see what we can do here. So if we have the number 108 multiplied by 8, we can do the multiplication. We can say 108 was multiplied by 8. 8 times 8 is 64. So we can put down the 4, we can carry the 6. 8 times 0 is 0, and 6, 8 ones are 8. That means this comes out to be 864. Okay, so when we multiply the three numbers together, the answer would come out to be, this is the rough working that we did. This is the working that we did, okay? So the answer is 864, irrespective of the order that we multiply. Okay. Okay. For the next question, it says multiply question number 3 states that multiply 4 multiply by 4 multiply by 10. So we know that there are certain rules when we are multiplying with a number ending with a 0, right? So the easier way is 4 multiplied by 4, it would be 16, and 16 is multiplied by 10. We know the rule that we count the number of 0. There is a single 0, 1 0. Okay, so what we do is we multiply the 16 by 1. 16 multiplied by 1 would be equals to 16, and we simply add the zeros. Since there was a single 0, we add a 0 over here. That means 160 is the final answer. Okay. Okay. Moving ahead to the next question. The next question we have says, okay, I'll just put the margins in between so that we can differentiate. Okay. The question number 4 states that question number 4 says multiply, and the numbers given are 5 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 6. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to multiply these 3 single digits. Okay, so can we say 5 multiplied by 6 is 30 multiplied by 6? We can see that this is a number ending with a 0. That means there is 1 0. There is a single 0, right? Can we multiply 3 multiplied by 6? 3 multiplied by 6 is 18 and it ends with a 0, we simply put a 0 over here. The answer comes out to be 180. Agreed? Okay. Moving ahead to the next question. The next question says multiply. Question number 5 says multiply 5 multiply by 8 multiply by 6. Okay. Let's look at the condition over here, right? The previous case was also 5 multiplied by something, and this is also 5 multiplied by two numbers, right? So let's see if we change the order of multiplication. If we multiply by 6 multiplied by 8, 6 times 8 is 48. This was being multiplied by 5, right? So we can do the working. We can say 48 multiplied by 5 should be 8 times 5 is 40, 0. We carry the 4 to the tens. 8, 5 times 4 is 20. 20 plus 4 is 24, right? We can say that this should be equals to 240, right? Because what we did was we started off with a multiplication of 8 multiplied by 6 first, right? But if we would do 5 multiplied by 8 first, what would have been different? We know that 5 multiplied by 8 is 40, multiplied by 6. There is 1 0 over here, right? So can we multiply? 4 multiplied by 6 is 24, and we simply bring down the 0. So multiplying a number by a tens or a fives is easier than multiplying two numbers which are any other without ending with a 0 or 5. Okay. Okay. So moving ahead, let's see the next question. The next question says, question number 6 says that we need to multiply 4 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 10. Okay, let's see. The next question says multiply 4 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 10. And in case of tens, it's always easier to multiply by 10 later. 4 multiplied by 7 is 28. Multiply by 10, we know there is 1 0. That means 28 multiplied by 1 should be 28. And we simply put down the number of zeros. This would be 280. Okay. So we can say 4 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 10 is 280. Sorry, 1 minute, please. Moving ahead to the next question. Thank you, Adeboy. Okay. The next number says multiply these numbers together in which one of the numbers is 1. That means if we have any number that is 1, multiplying by 1 gives the same answer. So we can say this is question number 7 and says 12 multiplied by 3 Thank you, Grace. Thank you, everyone. Okay. For the next question, what we can do is multiplying by 1 would give the same answer, right? So we can do the first 2 digits. What is this? 12 multiplied by 3 would be 12 multiplied by 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. That becomes 36 multiplied by 1. Anything multiplied by 1 stays the same. Yes, thank you, Grace. Thank you, Araba. Okay. I'm just putting margins in the middle so that we can differentiate between the questions, okay? Just for the differentiating. Okay, moving ahead to the next question. Yes, 36, thank you. The next question says multiply 9 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 1. The next question says we need to multiply in question number, sorry, this is our question number 8. We need to multiply 9 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 1. So what should it be? We can say 9 multiplied by 6 is 54 multiplied by 1. That would stay as 54. Okay. But if I would change the question and if I would say rather than being multiplied by 1, if it's multiplied by 10 in question number 9. Okay. If we multiply by 10, 9 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 10. Thank you, Edward. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Aiken. Thank you, Valerie. Okay. So if we are multiplying by 10, it should mean the same thing, right? 9 multiplied by 6 was 54, which was multiplied by 10. We know that this has 1 0. So we simply multiply 54 multiplied by 1. That would be 54. And we put down the 0. That means 540 would be the answer, right? Because we had a number ending with a 0. Okay. No, Grace? Yes, Grace. Thank you. 540. Because we have a 10 now. We have 10. That means we simply multiply by 10. So what we were doing was 54 was being multiplied by 1 and we simply put down the 0. Okay? Do we agree? Okay, thank you. Okay. Moving ahead to the next question. Let's see what we can do in the next. Next is still easy. Okay, we'll change this after 2 digits, something in this for the 2 digits. Question number 10. Okay, if this is our question number 10, it says multiply 4 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 3. Okay, so let's multiply these numbers together. If this is our question number 10. It does not make any difference which sequence would we follow, right? We'll do it either ways. We'll multiply left to right and we'll multiply right to left. 4 times 6 is 4 multiplied by 6 is 24. When 24 is multiplied by 3, we can say 24 multiplied by 3 should be equal to 3 times 4 is 12. We carry a 1. 3 times 2 is 6 and we put a 1. So we can say this comes out to be 72. Okay. Similarly, can you hear me? Oh, okay. Similarly, if we try to multiply from this side, 6 multiplied by 3 is 18. And once we say multiply 18 multiplied by 4 would be 8 times 4 is 32. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3 is 7. So we say that irrespective of how we multiply the numbers, the answer would always be the same. Okay? The answer does not change. Moving ahead to the next question. Okay. The next question says, multiply 7 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 9. Just a moment, please. I'll rearrange this. If this is given to us, okay, if we need to multiply them together. So if this is our question number 11, and in question number 11, they're asking us to multiply 7 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 9. Okay. So 7 multiplied by 1 would be simply 7. Multiplied by 9 is 7 times 9 is 63. That is our answer. Agreed? 7 times 9 is 63. So if I would want to change the same question, let's make it more difficult, okay? If this was the question given to us, that was question number 12. What we do is we try to change some values over here. Let's make 7 as 70. Okay? So now we know that we multiply in any order, it stays the same, right? 70 multiplied by 1 is, it's still 70, right? And once we multiply it by 9, what we can say is, because since in 70 we can see 1 0, there is 1 0, right? So 7 multiplied by 9 would be, 7 multiplied by 9 is 63, and we simply bring down this 0. This becomes 630. Okay? Okay, thank you. Let's take the same question and let's add more numbers to it. Okay. If I would say in question number 13, what we do is, if we make this as, rather than 1, if we make this as 11 over here. Okay? So what we can say is 7 multiplied by 11, we know that 11 multiplied by 7 is 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 1 is 7. That means this comes out to be 77 multiplied by 9. So when we multiply 77 multiplied by 9, we can say 9 times 7 is 63. We take the 6 to the tens. 9 times 7 is 63. 63. 9 times 7 is 63 plus 6 is 69. We can say 693 would be our final answer. Okay. So what we are doing over here is we are taking a similar question. There's nothing as option 2, right? It's okay. Okay. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to change the values of the question and we are trying to see what will happen. Okay. Just by changing the numerical values. Okay. Let's keep the same question. But this time what we do is we make any two digits, any two numbers, two digits, right? If I would say, let's make this as 17, okay, multiply by, sorry, 17 multiply by 12 multiply by 9, okay. So what we can do is we can multiply the bigger numbers first. Yes, yes, thank you, Grace. Thank you, Edward. In question number 14, what we are doing is we're just simply changing the numbers. Okay, let's see which one. See, if we multiply the three numbers in any order, the answer will always be the same, right? So let's try multiplying the first two digits together. 17 multiplied by 12. So can we say when we multiply 17 is multiplied by 12, 2 times 7 is 14, we carry a 1, 2 times 1 is 2, that is 3. Whenever we multiply by the tens, we put a 0 on the ones, 1 times 7 is 7, and 1 times 1 is 1. 4, 0, 1, 204. That means 17 multiplied by 12 is 204. Okay? And I try to always confirm, okay? 204. When 204 was multiplied by 9, we can say 204 is multiplied by 9. 9 times 4 is 36. We put the 3 on the tens. 9 times 0 is 0. 3 comes. 9 times 2 is 18. So we can say 1836 should be the answer when these three digits are being multiplied. Okay, 1800 and okay, 1836. But let's suppose if we change the next question and we say all the three digits over here, okay, all the three numbers are three-digit numbers. Okay, so if I said this was 17, this was 12, or let's make it 15, okay, it would be a very big number, okay, because there is 9 at the end, and we can make this as 92. Okay, multiply three or more numbers up to 2 digits each. The name of the topic was up to 2 digits each. That means we can have three numbers which are 2 digits each. Okay, this would be a very big number because there is a 990 as well. Okay, so what do we prefer? Let's say we multiply the first two numbers. Okay, we multiply these two numbers together. Okay, Grace, what would be the answer? 17 multiplied by 15. 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 1 is 5 and 3 is 8. 1 times we put a 0. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 1 is 1. 5, 5, carry 1, 255. That means this comes out to be 255 was multiplied by 92. Okay. So what should be the answer? 255 multiplied by 92. See, we can write 255 multiplied by 92. The unit comes under unit, tens comes under 10. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry a 1. 2 times 5 is 10. And we carry a 1. That becomes 11. 2 times 2 is 4. And this becomes a 5. We know that 9 multiplied by 5 is 45. So we put down the 5. We carry the 4. 9 times 5 is 45. Plus 4 is 49. 9 times 2 is 18. 18 plus 4 is 22. 0, 6, 9 plus 5 is 14. Carry the 1, 3 and 2. That means 23,460. Okay, let me just confirm. 23,460. That means our final answer comes out to be 23,460. Okay, so what happens is, if we are multiplying by 2-digit numbers, right, and the 10th position is a big number, then eventually we'll have a very big answer, right? So even though the answers have a big value, we don't have to worry about that. Okay. Okay. Moving ahead to the next question. The next question says 10 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 11. Let's see. It's an easy question. The next one. Okay. Next question says 10 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 11. This is our question number 16. So two of the numbers are double digits, okay? The easier way is 3 multiplied by 11, right? 11 multiplied by 3 is 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 1 is 3. So we can say 10 when multiplied by 33. We know 10 is ending with a 0. Can we say 1 multiplied by 33? 1 multiplied by 33 would always be equal to 33. And we simply bring down this 0. And the answer is 330. Okay? Yes, it can be bigger numbers. What I was trying to show you was, when we are multiplying 3 2-digits number, it can have a big number. And why was this a very huge number? because we can see a 9 over here in the previous question. If this was 92, right, that means it was almost 100 times bigger, the number, right? So if this would have been 12, 17 multiplied by 15 multiplied by 12, it would still be a smaller number, okay, compared to this answer. That is 330. Okay, let's do one more question, then we'll do the, okay, then we will do the test, okay. The next question says multiply 12 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 11. Okay. The next question was question number 17. It says 12 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 11. We can do either ways. We can do 12 multiplied by 6 first, then we multiply by 11. We know that 12 multiplied by 6 would be equal to 6 times 2 is 12. We carry 1 on the 10. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. That means 72 is multiplied by 11 over here. So 72 when multiplied by 11 means 2 multiplied by 1 is 2. 2 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 7 is 7. When we multiply the tens, we put a 0. 1 multiplied by 2 is 2. 1 multiplied by 7 is 7. We add them, it comes out to be 792 is the final answer. Okay. Thank you, Grace. Okay. Let's try some more questions from the test. Okay. So let's go to the test. Let's see. Okay, the question one that we have is, it says we multiply the numbers 12, 6 and 11. What should be the answer? I'll just copy this. This is our question number one from the test. It says question number one, and this is the test. The test is, the tab for the test is on the right hand top corner of the website, right? For this lesson. So what should be the answer? Would it be option A or option B? See, it cannot be a number ending with 2 zeros, right? Why? Because we don't have a 10. Nothing is being multiplied by 10 or nothing is being multiplied by 5, right? So we can always guess the answer, but we also need the accurate. So what should be the accurate answer? Option A or option B? Thank you, Sami. The first option would be the correct option. Why? 12 multiplied by 6 is 72, and 72 multiplied by 11 would be 792. Thank you so much. No, Adiboy, the option number one is correct. Okay. Okay. Let's redo another question. Okay. For the next question, it says, it's okay. We're going to try more questions and we'll see. And we practice more so that we don't make errors. Okay. You said option two. Okay, Hariboy, you said option 2, right? But Aiken said option 1, and we know that option 1 is the correct answer, right? Okay, it's okay, no problem. We do the next question. Thank you for answering. The next question we have is 9 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 1. And we are trying to multiply these numbers. So in question number 2, option A or option B? 9 multiplied by 6. Yes, option 1 is correct for question number 1. Question number 2 says 9 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 1. We know that 9 multiplied by 6 is 54. And it says 54 multiplied by 1. So what should be the answer? Yes, option number 2. Thank you, Grace. That should be equals to option number 2. That is 54. Okay, so we click on option number 2. Thank you. For the next question, it says 12 multiplied by 12 multiplied by 7. Let's see, question number 3. This is option A, option B, and the question said multiply 12 multiplied by 12 multiplied by 7. So what should be the answer for this? Thank you, Rebecca. Because we know that 12 multiplied by 12 was 144 multiplied by 7. Yes, it comes out to be 1008. That is option number 1. Thank you, everyone. The next question we have is multiply 12 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 8. This is our question number 4. And question number 4 says 12 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 8. 12 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 8 should be equals to 12 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 8. We can multiply 12 multiplied by 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 108. We can say 108 was being multiplied by 8. So what should be the answer? Grace, what should be the answer? When 108 is multiplied by 8. See, 108 I'm not trying to solve the question. I'm just trying to look at the answer. This was 864 and this was 785, right? So if we say this was one more than a number more than 100, right? So can we say 100 multiplied by 8 should be 800, right? Because that means the number in the answer cannot be in 700s. It has to be in 800s, right? So 108 multiplied by 8, right? 108 multiplied by 8 would give us 864, right? And that is the answer. That means option number A. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for being there. And please do practice the remaining question. Okay. Take care. Have a nice day. Best of luck. Okay. Bye.